odds if he does advance. So
yeah, of course. If one thing to keep in mind, like you just said, we're gonna get started with the race.
Yeah, the races are underway.
So looks like Crescendo stream is like 3 seconds behind, but
it'll be fixed in a moment.
Yeah, just got to refresh it a little bit. Anyway, as I was what was I saying before?
You lose your train of thought there, bud?
I definitely lost the train of thought. It's left the station. It's going 80 miles an hour. How long does it take to get to San Francisco? I don't know what's happening.
We'll just talk about the game. So for some of those who are unfamiliar with Mario Odyssey, who haven't been watching Chris just grind this for hours and hours on end, this is the newest installment of the Mario games. It's about 6 weeks old by now, I think, 6 or 7 weeks. The main mechanic in this game is to throw your hat. Your hat is actually sentient in this game. It's actually that ghost that you saw a moment ago. It's Cappy, and you can throw your hat. You can throw Cappy, use him as a platform, and bounce off of him. You can also use him to activate switches, like Chris just did, and capture other enemies. So you can like capture a Goomba and play as that Goomba, and all kinds of different enemies like that. So opens up a lot of platforming options, tons of different movement you can see from runners here. So it's definitely really, really exciting to look at. Oh, looks like Sound Defense takes a little tumble off the bridge there. That's really unfortunate.
He pulled the classic Cap Kingdom reset move. That is, if you dive a little bit too early, the bridge comes up and you fall through.
It is the case, though, that if you're just talking about movement over flat-ish continuous ground, that rolling with motion controls, motion controls, right? You're going to be shaking the controller like a madman the whole time, but it is the fastest ground movement in the game, and so runners are going to be trying to use that wherever they can, and using it at the wrong time can lead you to veer off and bonk or jump off the edge like the Sound Defense did just there. A little unfortunate, but this early in the run, I think it's still recoverable.
Right. Crescendo is going to be going into the topper fight here. This fight is, just a matter of timing. Just got to jump on his hat and get the quick kill cycle. Looks like he's going to be coming out of here. I don't know. It's like a 2:38 split.
It should be about 16 seconds from when he leaves the electrical wire here. So yeah, looking pretty darn fast.
Yeah, very good cap from Crescendo.
And aside from Sound Defense's little mishap earlier, it looks like he won't be too far behind. He does get the quick kill.
Yeah.
This boss, like all other bosses, can be fast-cycled in some way, with the exception of one. There's one boss that's an auto-scroller. All of them can be quick killed just like that, jumping on the hat to cancel that intermediate phase. Sound Defense gets the quick kill. It's going to be right on Crescendo's tail.
Right. I'm impressed. That was a good boss fight. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. It all come down to the dino skip, though. If he gets that good. We've seen a whole bunch of times in this tournament. Dino skip has messed up the best and the worst runners. It knows no bounds.
The trampoline giveth and the trampoline taketh away.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Cascade Kingdom here, after the Cap Kingdom that Sound Defense just closed out, this is the real, quote-unquote, real kingdom in the game, and the goal in the 90% here is to advance from kingdom to kingdom as quickly as possible. So in this game, you do not collect stars, but rather moons, and you need a certain number of moons per kingdom to advance. So here in the Cascade Kingdom, you need 5. Chris just collected his first. Sound Defense is going to be coming up on it. And Chris is going to be making his way to a dinosaur to possess it, and jump off a trampoline, skipping most of the level, coming up to a boss fight, after which that boss fight will give you 3 moons, so after that you only need 1 more. It's pretty quick kingdom.
Alright, looks like Crescendo missed the triple jump there, but backed it up very beautifully by getting on the smaller ledge, and of course not bonking, which is way more important. So here's the dino jump here. He's going to get the left foot on the trampoline, gets it, and he'll have plenty of room there.
He'll activate the cutscene zone. The cutscene zone does extend a little bit off the side of the cliff, but he was going to land on top anyway. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you can bonk into the side of the cliff, and it'll still sometimes give it to you.
So trying to get the fast cycle on this boss here. Throwing his cap. Cap hits the chain chomp as he jumps on it. He can throw his cap to possess it. Very well done.
Yeah, the chain chomp, the spin attack can't be captured, but if you jump on top of the chain chomp, then it gives him a vulnerable state, which lets you capture him. So that's why you see him set up a backflip to just get enough height and cancel the animation early.
And he triggered that cutscene at 4:29. That is super fast.
That is insanely fast.
Ooh.
And Sound Defense also getting into the start of the boss fight. See if he goes for these quick kills. They're not extremely difficult, but it is something that can easily be messed up, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely there are strategies that mitigate some risk here, but it is not 100%. You do still have to actually execute on them pretty consistently in order to, maintain your pace.
Right, and it looks like he does get a really solid boss fight as well. Didn't miss any of the quick kills. So Sound Defense is going to be getting a very nice out time from Cascade, even despite the death and cap.
Yeah, I mean, again, of all the places to lose some time in your run, the very beginning is, I think, probably one of the better ones because the run is so long. There's so many opportunities to make it up later, and I mean, Chris is a pretty good player, as we've established, but he is not perfect. He is subject to mistakes too. Sound Defense will have plenty of opportunities to gain some ground here.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of race left. There's a lot of different strats, a lot of different movement that can be messed up. Obviously Crescendo is going to be going for a lot of harder strategies, and as you get more difficult, the more likely it is that you will lose a lot more time than if you were to take it safe. So, I'm actually, I wonder if Crescendo is going for a PB here, or if he's just going for a good enough time to, be proud of.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see that in the later kingdoms, because obviously through Cascade, there's not really too much risk reward strats to go through. I think what we might see. We will absolutely probably see Sphinx Clip.
You excited about this, Tones?
Oh, I'm very excited about this. Crescendo has been he's asking me about how I do Sphinx Clip, see if he can get it to consistent, and hopefully he's practiced enough to feel comfortable with it.
Because you're the one that basically came up with so far the only even remotely consistent setup for Sphinx Clip.
Yeah, and even then, it's not even. It's
tough. It's punishing.
Yeah, but looks like he's going to be going for Bird in the town. So it doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to go for Sphinx Clip, or is going to go for it.
There's just a lot of routing options in the Sand Kingdom. The Sand Kingdom probably has it's the one kingdom with the most amount of different routes that runners have adopted and said, oh, this is good, and then a new one comes out the next day, and then oh well, it's either learn the new one or stick with my old one. And,
I remember when the game first came out, that's all runners would complain about is, I don't want to learn the game anymore because it just changes every day.
It's just Sand Kingdom all the time. But so a lot of different routes and strategies for the Sand Kingdom. Even if runners do want to go to the Sphinx, they now have the option of doing the Sphinx Clip. If they want to get on a lone pillar, they have the option of doing bullet bill manipulation. So in addition to routes, there are also strats. It just becomes really complicated. You'll generally never see two runners in a race do the exact same thing.
Right, and the worst part is that even with all the differences in the routes, they're never more than 10 to 15 seconds difference. So it's really pick and choose of what strats you want to do. It looks like Crescendo's going to miss the bullet bill manipulation. That's going to cost about 6 seconds.
It is possible to, since the bullet bill homes in on Mario, manipulate it to not kill itself, so you can, after you grab this moon, possess it, but Chris just has to wait for the next cycle. It's about a 5-second time loss there. Not a huge deal, but still, it's a come on, man moment.
Yeah, and speaking of routing differences, Sound Defense just got employees only. So we might see an old boys sand route coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I haven't seen this route since 2002.
Oh my god. Yeah, so here comes the point of no return for Chris, whether or not he goes to the Sphinx Clip. There's the Sphinx in sight right in the background here.
Please.
I know you want it. I
want it.
He's not gonna do it.
No, he's dodging.
Nah, he's dodging. He doesn't want any of that nonsense.
Don't want none of that. That just means he's gonna go for notes later in the Oasis. So really not that much time loss. Especially in a race setting, you definitely do not want to sit there and bonk on the wall for 20 seconds waiting to get Sphinx Clip.
Yeah.
Or God forbid clipping inside the Sphinx room by accident.
It's a little finicky. You can either clip into the loading zone directly or clip off to the side, grab a moon, and then go into the loading zone. And it's just one of those things that there are several levels of inconsistencies, and Not too many people are bold enough to pull it off in a race.
Who would do that? I actually saw someone do a clip. It wasn't necessarily Sphinx clip. It was earlier today. It was JKB, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did the clip where you go from the pipe inside the shifting sand.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, what? Why would you do that? That's way less consistent than Sphinx clip is.
According to you.
I ain't judging. He got it. He has a better beat than I do. So.
Yeah, Sound Defense looks like he's going for old boy strats. Indeed, he's gonna hit that checkpoint, get the shifting sands moon, go over, grab lost luggage, and then teleport back. Actually,
or he might even walk into the Sphinx. And
he might do that. Yeah.
Which is also good because you get a ton of coins, and you won't have to worry about that in the run.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is that in this game and in the any percent route, coins do matter, and the Sphinx Room has a ton of coins. So the fact that Chris skipped out on it, and Sound Defense might as well, is that they won't have an overabundance of coins that you get from the Sphinx Room. Coins are important because later on in the route, you actually can purchase moons from shops in different kingdoms, and generally the route consists of 2 moon purchases. So you want 200 coins for that. There's also an optional Death Abuse. You can abuse a Death Warp, and Dying costs you 10 coins. So the general any percent route costs 210 total coins. So making sure you have enough coins is pretty important. And sand routes, differ as they may, affect how you progress and route later on in the game. Yeah.
One backup coin location would be on top of this pillar, but we see Sound Defense take a dip in the purple goop. That bullet bill wall jump is not the easiest thing to do consistently, especially if you're just starting off.
Thankfully, he does have the checkpoint, so he spawns right up next to it. Not a huge time loss. Just feels a little unfortunate for him.
Yeah, but he will be getting the extra chest. I believe that's 30 coins. I want to say it's 30 coins because the Jaxie's sitting right there, so it would make sense that you get 30 coins to pay for Jaxie.
It's a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
So here's Chris in the Lake Kingdom pulling off new strats, bouncing off his hat to get up that wall.
That was
very nice. Fresh. That was fresh. That was courtesy of Shaden. Thank you, Shaden.
And he also gets these coins. He spawns the coins inside the zipper, which is another safety strat for no Sphinx route. He missed a lot of them because he went a little bit too fast. So hopefully he won't be too short.
How dare he go too fast in a speedrun, Chris?
I know, right?
I'm ashamed of you.
Well, I know you go fast now, you're going to lose time later in Snow Kingdom when you don't have 100 coins. So
it is worth noting that he also picks up a cheap sheep because in this game, swimming as Mario it feels really bad. It's really slow. So possessing a cheap sheep and it's your best bet of quick moving underwater.
Yeah, I don't know how they somehow so first ever 3D Mario game, they perfected swimming, and then every other Mario game since then has been garbage. I don't know. I don't know how they managed to do that.
There's Chris making the cheap jump first try. Very nice. It's a quick strat. Cheap gives you some extra height out of the water. He's able to get that jump as opposed to going the long way around. He's gonna fast cycle this boss real quick.
That jump can be surprisingly frustrating sometimes. I don't know if this happened to you, Okra, but it has eaten my dive before.
It actually, so when you pop open that flower before you dive onto it, because there are so many Goombas in the flower opening animation, it actually forces you to drop a frame or two, and so it will sometimes eat your input. So you kind of have to, so you have to mash the button. Chris
doesn't do
no problems with it.
So that means the game does frame skipping lag.
It does,
Oh, that's the worst.
But so here's Chris closing out the Lake Kingdom, grabbing his final moon. He's going to go put it into the Odyssey just as the Sound Defense lands into the Lake Kingdom. It's a pretty quick kingdom. It's about 3 minutes, I believe. So
yeah,
it's about the time difference we're looking at here.
Chrescendo also on a really good run. I haven't seen any major mistakes from him whatsoever.
Yeah, no, he's just playing really consistently here.
Yeah, but with a PB of 107, right? I think it's 107 or 108. It's with a PB as good as he has.
It's a low 108 right now on the leaderboard.
Low 108, yeah. So with the PB as good as he has, sometimes playing consistent doesn't necessarily mean you're playing well. And that's where the
disgusting, man. It's honestly disgusting how good that time is.
Yeah, it's one of the things that plagues games like this that are so consistent that, you know, as you get better and better, you just have to lay everything out on the line, and
Yeah.
just one small mistake can totally ruin everything.
So here's Chris coming up on the Wooded Kingdom. Now, we receive a return visit from Mips here. You might remember him from Mario 64. Here he is. Chris is going to come up on him, grab him, and just say, thank you very much. There's a moon. See you,
Gets
bud.
a quick kill, too. Very nice. Doesn't even stun him with the cap.
No, he just runs right into him saying, move, get out the way.
move, fish, get out the way. And of course, that rock there, those little rocks that you have to break open are super frustrating. But it turns out you can just run into another rock and it instantly breaks. So thank God.
Sound Defense getting the cheap jump first try, as well as Chris puts those coins to use and purchases his first moon in the Wooded Kingdom.
Very impressive. And let's see if Sound Defense can also pull off the quick kill. Looks like he's setting up for it beautifully.
He's nailing it. Oh, he misses it by looked like
a little bit too early.
It looked like just a few frames. That was really, really close. And so here comes Chris breaking open some nuts.
Yeah, you know, Wooded Kingdom is famous for busting some nuts. Runners. Sometimes they have trouble busting nuts, but that's okay. That's okay.
We forgive all.
Yeah, Wooded Kingdom it's a very nice kingdom. It's got baller music. Starts right here.
So this is actually an uproot that Chris just possessed. You can use it. They're called uproots. Yeah,
they're onions.
They're onions. You can use them to get really high like that. And like most things in this game, the motion controls are better. You can use motion controls to make it go even higher, which he did there. A lot of things in this game are tied to motion controls. If you actually see, I'm sure at some GDQ you'll be able to see someone running this game. They'll just be shaking like a maniac.
It's really funny to watch people run with webcam.
Oh yeah, it's
you can see their shoulders just bouncing up and down like crazy. Actually,
Chris with the strats! Oh,
that was amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a flooded room done that well.
That was gorgeous. Yeah. The flooded pipeway there has all those fuzzies. It's really hard to avoid damage, but Chris makes it look super easy. That was terrific.
Bonking in that room is like a death sentence. You miss cycles. You have to wait for the healing animation on the moon grab.
Yeah, taking damage in the game is kind of punishing. When you get moons, they heal you, which is super nice. But it freezes frame to heal you, and then puts your health bar up in the back into the top corner again. It takes
with the exception of Grand Moons. That's the only moon that won't stop time. And he looks like he gets over the risky gap, so no deep woods for Crescendo.
Yeah. I saw a run yesterday, I believe, where I Ate Your Pie fell down into the deep woods, and he had to route some moons down there, and I was stressing out for him. It
was really impressive though, because I Ate Your Pie is one of the only people who looked into trying to route in moons in the deep woods. So he would, if anyone was to fall into the deep woods, I'm really glad it was him, because he's the only person that could save it.
Here comes Sound Defense purchasing his first moon with coins. So since neither of these runners did the Sphinx, they're going to be a little shortchanged right here in the Wooded Kingdom. They're going to have to accumulate some coins. They got some time before they need the coins again in the Snow Kingdom, but they're going to need to get back to 100 coins again. Chris going for the strats again, and he nails it.
Oh, perfect hits. That was awesome.
Yeah, so you're quote-unquote supposed to hit the P-switch and wait for an auto-scrolling road above the chasm to guide you to this platform, but again, Chris is like, that's too slow. I don't have time for that. And just bada boom, bada bang.
Yeah, anytime you can skip a platformer in this game is usually something that speedrunners are going to want to skip.
Sound Defense with the freeze frame bonk as he unlocks the gate. A little unfortunate there. But it looks kind of funny, so I'm going to point it out.
I'm still not quite sure if it's faster to continuously alternate jumping with the uproot or...
Chris misses the moon there, so it possessed the uproot again.
Yeah, getting out of that little cubby hole is that we saw Crescendo do is actually surprisingly finicky.
Yeah, it's basically you kind of have to stand on the air and shake up the controller to gain that extra height, and I know it isn't, but it feels like a pixel perfect trick sometimes.
Yeah. Because you have to just catch the middle ground between are you on the ledge or are you not on the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So here's
it
Chris.
also looked like Chris missed one of the quick cycles on Spewart.
On Spewart, the easiest boss.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. I don't know.
But Sound Defense makes his way through the flooded pipeway as well. He's going to be looking to make the climb up to the in the maze.
Yeah, it's worth noting that there's 2 different ways to do this little middle segment of Wooded. You can either do what both of the runners did, which is go straight to flooded pipeway and do the climb, or you can jump straight from the uproot moon to the checkpoint and then jump back down to the flooded pipeway and warp back. Either way, it's not too big of a routing difference. However, there is more risk to doing the second way because you travel straight over deep woods, and if you mess up the jump at all, then
you're gonna pull an I ate your pie.
You're gonna pull a pie. You don't want to pull a pie.
You never want to pull a pie. Shout out to I ate your pie. Love you, man.
Crescendo coming out of Wooded with low 21. Very good out time. Very, very solid.
God, this is just disgusting.
Yeah. And next up, we're going to have the Metro Kingdom, it looks like. There's absolutely nothing that can come in between the Metro Kingdom and Wooded.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we're heading straight to the best part of the game, right?
Yeah, straight there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the thing that we saw in the trailers. You know, we're just going to get a cutscene, and it's going to be great.
Sound defense.
Oh, wait, why did Mario look out the window?
What's going on, huh?
I would like to see the lore, please. Can you stop skipping the cutscenes?
I mean, all right, we're here in the clouds. This is kind of cool, right? I like the clouds. Clouds are nice. There's a ship over there, huh?
Wow.
What? Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, Crescendo's gonna go for fast hat strats, isn't he?
Oh, he nails it.
Yeah,
oh man.
Yeah, he put in a ton of work into Cloud Kingdom, and hopefully it pays off. So what he's gonna be going for here is called quick cap or fast cap or capture fast.
I didn't even know it had a name yet.
I don't know. I'm making it up at this point.
All right,
but it doesn't
fine.
matter. Basically, if you hit the cap while you have damage on you and then stand right on top of it, you can instantly grab it, and that saves like 4 seconds per cycle. So it's like a free between the 2 Bowser fights. It's like 20 seconds of time save. But that's the risk that we just saw him do. You know, if you mess it up a little bit, you have to miss a cycle.
It's actually even riskier than that, as viewers of Iwabi will know, in that if you fail, it's not sure what causes it yet, but I think it has to do with the iframes. If you fail to do this properly, Chris takes a death. He has to do the whole fight over again. If you fail to do the fast strat properly, you actually soft lock and are stuck in midair and have to wait for Bowser to hit you with the rock. Yeah. So it's a little, Chris taking a bonk, has to start
All right, Chris,
over
take
again.
a breather here.
He's getting sound defense.
On the other screen, sound defense looks like he falls down trying to get up the Spewart.
It's all right. He's gonna spawn back at the door.
Yeah, he spawned right back at the door.
He does lose the 10 coins though, which again is super important later on in the run. But Chris lost the 20 coins there with those 2 deaths, so both of our runners will be in a coin deficit here.
Yeah. And with Crescendo, his route is insanely tight because of how optimized his movement is. So he's a lot shorter on coins than sound defense is.
Whereas my movement is too optimized, copy pasta.
Thanks, man. You ruined chat.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry.
Oh yeah, you're never sorry.
Yep, so the sound defense finishing up his kill on Spewart. He's going to be heading to the Odyssey to finish up Wooded Kingdom himself.
All right, so we're just gonna pretend that Crescendo did this first try and perfect boss fight execution.
Perfect fight.
Yeah, from Crescendo.
Kappa.
Yeah, he's still on really good pace though, and
oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's gonna shake him up too much.
Yeah, coming into the Lost Kingdom, the meme tree, will it giveth or taketh away?
I don't know.
But yeah, so the reason that Chris is heading over to the side here instead of just heading down the road is that there's actually a bird in the Lost Kingdom called Klepto who has a cutscene trigger down to the right, and if you activate the cutscene, then what'll happen is that he'll steal away Cappy, and you'll have to platform up, get into a little fight with him, and take Cappy back, which wastes a lot of time. So going around,
it's a huge time loss.
Yeah, so he just avoids the cutscene trigger altogether. He is going to come up onto the Klepto Bird, but the way that this is circumnavigated is that you quote unquote activate the fight portion of Klepto, so he thinks that he has Cappy. So you never actually have to deal with any of that cutscene stuff. So a little slick maneuvering around the level makes it just a spree, collect moon, super fast, super quick.
Yeah, but it's super fast, but you also have that looming threat of
the purple goo.
of purple goo. If you die anywhere, you have to pretty much do the exact same thing that you see him do now. You have to go and deactivate the bird, because the loading or the cutscene activation plane will respawn.
Oh, Chris can go for the damageless box break there. Very nice. Here's sound defense coming up on the Bowser fight. We kind of brushed over it a little bit, but there is, the typical speedrun strat here is in itself a fast cycle, because after you grab the hat, Bowser wants to jump away and send out shockwaves and stuff, but if you get the hat close enough to him, you're going to start punching him immediately and cancel the jump away. So sound defense does manage to do that, not doing the super ridiculous strats that Chris was trying to pull off, but
right.
Nonetheless, it is a quick kill he's going for.
Alright, so Chrescendo going to take an intentional death here. Don't worry. Don't pull out your not like this as yet.
All calculated.
All calculated. So he's gonna lose the 10 coins here and then get out of Lost Kingdom with the amount of moons he needs to get on to Metro.
Yeah, but again, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the Metro is the
it's the crowning jewel of Mario Odyssey, honestly.
Yeah, it's a great kingdom. It's a great kingdom, but it's also a horrible kingdom.
It is worth noting, though, that right now Chrescendo only has 10 coins, and depending on routing, he could, after Metro, go to Seaside or Snow. If he goes to Snow, then just in Metro, in this one kingdom, he needs to gather 90 coins for the Shop Moon in the Snow Kingdom.
Yeah.
I guess he can gather some at the beginning of Snow before the shop, but still, 90 coins between now and the shop. I'm guessing he might go to Seaside first.
Oh, he's absolutely going to Seaside. He's very practiced in going to Seaside, because I don't think he's implemented Sphinx into his run yet. So usually we'll see runners that don't do Sphinx will always go to Seaside first, because it's another 40-something coins that you can get.
Yeah, and the quote-unquote time loss from going to Seaside as opposed to Snow is that it's the menuing, just selecting down in the menu and then pressing A as opposed to just mashing the button.
It's a matter of a second or two.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal, but I've seen runners' inputs be eaten before, and oh no, I want to go to see. Oh, I went to the wrong. Oh no, I don't have enough coins. So I've seen it happen. It can happen. And sound defense looks like he's getting memed by the meme tree.
Meme tree taketh away. He gets the triples on there.
He gets it. There it is.
He gets it. That's fine. No big deal.
Yeah, so Chris coming up on one of the toughest parts of Nighttime Metro, aside from the boss fight, the Town Hall climb. And there are fast strats for this, but it's important to note that you have to take into account the elevators, which are on a cycle. And so trying to make the fast cycle here, can he do it? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, he just barely makes it, but very nice. Yeah,
he does fall down.
Oh, he falls down though. Where's he going?
Okay, all right. He lands in the elevator, doesn't fall to his death, but
and of course doesn't hit.
And then a bonk. Chris, what are you doing, buddy?
It's fine.
He's got this.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Sound defense about to trigger the Klepto Bird to make it think that he has Cappy, so it doesn't have to deal with that cutscene nonsense.
Yeah. There's like a million different ways that you can do this climb here, and none of them lose more than like 10 seconds or so, like a one cycle on the elevators. So, you can take it as slow or as risky as you want when you're starting out. But of course, when you get to the top level, every cycle counts.
Looks like Chrescendo's coming up onto the Mecha Wiggler fight, which I'm expecting big things. He's the one that put out the tutorial of how to always two-cycle with the Mecha Wiggler, so if he doesn't do it, I haven't
even seen that tutorial.
Oh, it's in the Google Doc. There's a community Google Doc that all the Mario Odyssey speedrunners kind of reference for up-to-date routes and strats, and the video in there for Mecha Wiggler is made by Chrescendo, so if he doesn't two-cycle this, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Oh, sound defense misses the moon under the bridge.
Oh no. Hopefully he knows
to...
about the backup. There is a way to back up the moon without having to go all the way around again.
Yeah, if you do try to go straight back to that bridge moon, you will stumble through the cutscene trigger zone. So hopefully he's able to get around the bend.
No, don't climb up that! No!
Triggers the cutscene. So now he has to...
huge.
So now he has to go rescue Cappy from Klepto again.
Yeah, you may think, hey, I'm right here. I can just, leave Cappy here, but you can't leave.
So there's Crescendo getting the 2-cycle. I will have no words for him today other than, good job, son.
Yeah, good job. I wonder if he relies on gyro a lot. I know a lot of runners do because the stick control aiming is very, very bad. With the tank.
You have to set your cursor to be at a place with the control stick, but then he does use gyro controls afterwards.
Right.
So here's sound defense going to retrieve Cappy from Klepto.
And the Odyssey developers taking a page out of the book from Splatoon, giving gyro aiming a chance.
It is not the worst thing, I will say.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So sound defense finally got Cappy back. He's gonna get a second chance at redemption and this undermoon. He got it.
Yeah, there it is. So now he's gonna take the death again, port back to the Odyssey, and move on to the nighttime metro sequence as well. The nighttime metro sequence is unskippable. You do have to go through that boss fight to unlock the daytime metro, where there's the whole kingdom available to you, and you need 20 total moons to move on. So Crescendo had 5 from nighttime. There's his 6. Gonna pull a cheeky strat to get over to the electrical wire.
Super fast electrical wire setup.
So now it only needs 14 moons to advance past the Metro Kingdom. But, I mean, 14 moons is more than some other kingdoms entirely, so...
He backs it up perfectly, too. Perfect
backs it up. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo does want you to spend a lot of time in the Metro Kingdom. It's kind of their crowning jewel, like, look what we did, this is amazing! And Mario Odyssey is, trying to show it off as much as possible.
How many moons are in here? 104, right?
Oh, it's a ridiculous number.
Yeah, I think there's more moons here than anywhere. So those all missions runners had a blast trying to route this one.
It's a doozy. But then there's good bench, Chris.
No, he landed on the wrong side of the guy.
Oh no, I thought he manipulated it. Stream's a little behind then. Okay, there it is. Early call. I was anticipating it.
Yeah.
But he does pull a nice spin cancel there to get to the moon. So sound defense coming up on the awning. You're supposed to go over to the left to fight a bunch of tanks and enemy gauntlet, but with some slick platforming, he just gets up there. Oh, hits a little bit of a bonk. It's a tight jump. There. It's a really, really tight jump to make.
You can't give up any distance. Like, for example, on the awning, you have to jump on the top of the slants. Otherwise, you don't get enough height. It's that precise.
It's really, really tight. But he does get it the second time around.
Looks like he's going to go to the top of the building and then go down to Girder. I'm not sure which way is faster, but that one's definitely safer.
And Crescendo just climbing up to the top of the tallest building in Metro for the
defense bonks, and he's going to fall all the way down. I'm not sure if he had time to recover that. But
yeah, he has to do the awning jump all over again now.
Does he spawn all the way back to the...
Just at the checkpoint.
Good thing he grabbed it.
He does have to do the awning jump again. A little bit of a nuisance there. Looks like Chris stopped by the pool to get the coins there, heading down to the cafe.
Oh, very smart move. I saw him back that up in one run, and he's never done it before. And he was like, "Oh wait, this is pretty fast. That's pretty good. Okay." Cool.
It's not the biggest hit you can take as a time loss, so he decides to just go for it.
You can easily just long jump around the building, and it doesn't cost more than 4 seconds easily.
Looks like sound defense gonna get back onto the building this time, and he does not need to click the moon over to the right, so he's gonna head onto the building here. Oh, takes a little bit of a
he's gonna go down there anyway.
Oh, I see. He's just
he
hits
didn't
a bonk.
See the girder.
Yeah,
that
you can
girder
actually
was camouflaged.
You can just cruise down on the lower level to get past the giant iron girder, but he does hit a bonk, hit back to the checkpoint for the sound defense.
Hi.
Crescendo coming up on the musician moons. Hey, you see this drummer over here? By the way, there's a drummer right here. Thanks, Pauline.
Thanks. Hey, can you find musicians for me? You mean the one right behind you? Yeah.
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 That's Nintendo's way of saying, oh, this is how we teach people without giving them a tutorial. But really, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But Crescendo's gonna head over to the dead Mecha Wiggler body to squeeze one last moon out of it before indulging the community in one of its biggest memes. Seems like this basis seems to say something that sounds like OTEP.
OTEP. OTEP.
OTEP. Yay!
Dude, even Crescendo pulled out some pie OTEP.
I appreciate it. You're just done with the Metro King now.
It's mandatory, by the way. If you're a runner of this game, you have to say OTEP in your chat.
If you're subbed to I Ate Your Pie, you have to use the emote. It's just it's law. You have to. But Crescendo closing out the Metro Kingdom as the sound defense makes the long climb up the town hall. Now, I didn't actually catch if Crescendo finished topping off his 100 coins. He does have the option to go to Snow, I think, if he wants. Was that 85 or so?
He has 70 coins.
No.
No,
I know he grabbed that pile.
Seaside. No, the pile's only like 20 coins.
There's a Seaside. Yeah. I can't count, man. I don't do math.
He had like 30 coins coming out of Lost. Maybe less.
Yeah,
I think he had like 35 coins.
You're right. I know there's another dumpster that's along the route that uses you, I think, 5 or so seconds.
You have to fall down to the floor and then go up the thing right after you get how do they take the trash out?
Yeah, but he didn't go for it, so Seaside it is. Sound defense.
Right, he has 62 coins. Yeah, he'll have coins.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Why did I think that was a 9? It's because it's 9 upside down, right? That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. So sound defense gonna try to 2-cycle this Mecha Wiggler here.
Doesn't look like he got the right positioning manipulations for the quick transport. So he makes 2 portals here, and obviously the shorter the distance, the shorter time it takes to get through the wall, right? So that's kind of the basis around the position manipulation. You want him to go kind of corner to corner all the time so that he spends a little bit less time traveling and a little bit more time dying to tank missiles.
Yeah.
Wow, he nailed a lot of shots here. That was an amazing
that was great. That was great. That looked awesome.
Wow. And Crescendo's got the hard part of a Seaside down. Never mind.
It's a little bit of a bonk there.
The harder part that I didn't know about.
But yeah, this is actually the last moon that he's going to grab on the surface of Seaside. All the other moons, he's going to possess a Cheap Sheep and go underwater for. And for a while, actually, it was the other way around. We used to be grabbing moons over on the beach, like on the cliff, using a Gushin here, which Chris is about to get, using a Gushin to get over on the side of the cliff and just get a lot of moons there. But I believe it was also Pi who was like, well, there are all these moons underwater. We have a Cheap Sheep here. Why not just do that? And it also takes you along a route that gets you tons of coins for the purchase in Snow Kingdom. So made the most sense to everybody.
Yeah, it also means I don't really like Seaside Kingdom that much anymore, just because, like I said before, it's the 2 hard moons, and then it's just boring the rest of the way. You know, you do like the super crazy platforming to get the one on the cliff, and then
you just swim through
in the cave, and then it's just just gonna grab a cheap and swim around a little bit.
Swim through, no problem, no sweat. Now Chris does have the 100 coins. He'll be good to go for his purchase in the Snow Kingdom.
102, all calculated. Sound defense on the final boss.
He is able to back it up. Heck yeah. So Chris coming up on his last 2 moons here in Seaside. And he's just making nutty time. Wow, you avoids all the underwater bonks.
Yeah, not one fish bonk.
That was ridiculous. Good bench from the sound defense. I guess we should also
make sure to hit the lady on the way to grabbing the bowl.
Very important. We should also note here that this is still in the group stages of the any percent tournament, and so this is not an elimination match. This only will help to provide standings within the group of 4 people. So the top 2 runners in each group of 4 will advance to the next stage. And the times do matter here. Whatever time you get in your group stage runs will affect your seeding if you advance to the later stages. So,
yeah, this method of running the tournament was definitely way better for the amount of entrants that we got. It was a little over 128 people that entered this tournament. So if we were to do, regular seeding with double elimination or something,
it takes forever.
First of all, it would take forever. Second of all, it would be very unfair to runners who, aren't that skilled. They're only going to get a maximum of 2 matches, and they're both going to be against people that are way better than them. So
Chris hitting the bonk.
In this case, we sort them based on their PBs, in their groups. They're going to have people that are better. They're going to have people that may be worse. So everyone gets at least 3 matches to play in the tournament. And then, of course, the people who make it out of the group stages will go on to the tournament like they should.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And we're going to be seeing the group stage matches up through the month of December. So stay tuned on all the speed gaming channels for the group stages. And then following AGDQ, probably we will start the actual elimination bracket.
Can't miss the marathon of speedruns.
Nope.
Kill the animals.
But that's not going to be a thing this year.
I know.
That's awesome. I've been waiting for them to not have Super Metroid for once. But a very bold move. I like it. Anyway, we're going to see Chrescendo get into the Shiveria town, which is where the majority of moons are before you do the race. Because there's a huge blizzard outside and it doesn't let you do anything fun.
It's worth noting, most of the kingdoms have a bunch of story moons that you're meant to go and advance the story and do a bunch of stuff in, but we generally don't care about that. The only thing we care about as speedrunners here is that completing all the story moons generally opens up the kingdom and makes all the moons available there. And so before we do that, there are only a limited amount of moons available, and in the Snow Kingdom, outside of this town of Shiveria above in the blizzard, it turns out there are no moons available except for Captain Toad, and so he is the one that we do gather before coming down to Shiveria here.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, those story moons are a little bit too important in Snow Kingdom, and the story moons they're very slow because they have a huge cutscene along with them, and you can't skip them, unlike most other cutscenes in this game. And these caverns are very slow. So,
yeah, this is one of 3 side rooms in Shiveria that you end up visiting, and you only grab the story moons in 2 of them because there are no moons available before you do the story portion. Basically, the routing options are pretty limited, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
the only routing difference you can do that's more optimal is using a 2-player controller to grab a checkpoint early on the hidden painting. A cliffside. That's the only thing you can do differently. But obviously, as per this tournament, 2-player co-op is considered an assist and is not allowed.
Yeah, even that routing difference I feel is A, cheesy, and B, why?
Yeah, I mean, I do love cheese. Cheese strats are always my favorite.
Are you a StarCraft player?
No.
Oh my god.
Why would I
Missing
play
the memes?
Why would I play really cool esports when I can play Super Mario Odyssey over and over again for the rest of my life?
You've got a point there. Yeah, so in this room, there's ice physics on the floor. You can use the Goombas to avoid ice physics because Goombas don't slip, and they activate that switch so you can get a moon. So Chris is gonna do that, but then he's gonna pull some sick strats here.
Ooh, he's crispy right now.
Spicy.
That was insane. He was practicing that right before the tournament, and he was like, "Man, I wish I can get this in the race."
I have never seen that before. That was slick.
That was very nice.
And there's the sound defense moving on from the Metro Kingdom. If he's still coins short, he might also be hitting the Seaside like Chris did. And there's Chris getting the fast pipe entrance.
Yeah, I love that entrance. That's one of my favorite things in the game.
I love doing that.
So satisfying. Nintendo has always been really good about making very satisfying sound effects when you do something that's good.
Yeah, it's actually an intended mechanic in the game that you're able to enter pipes quickly through well-positioned ground pounds, and it gives you a little sound as you enter the pipe quickly. It's very satisfying to hear. I do it no justice with my human voice. I'm sorry, chat.
Yeah. That's a very solid Snow Kingdom from Crescendo. He I don't think he made any mistakes there. All the caverns were very solid. Sound defense getting a unfortunate bonk on the way up to this cliffside moon.
Crescendo's going to be closing out the Snow Kingdom and heading to Luncheon. Now this is a tough cliff to nail for the Sound defense. It gets a little bit of a bonk. Yeah, it
barely didn't make it.
The spacing on your inputs there, the timing is a little bit precise. You gotta do it pretty precisely, or it's not gonna game's not gonna give it to you.
Yeah, it's also about your positioning on the on where you do the ground pounds, because you can see there's a very slight incline right near the wall, and you want to stand on that because it gives you a little bit more height when you go and wall kick off the wall.
Sound defense does get it eventually, so props.
Yeah,
that's it.
And speaking of tight jumps, Crescendo's going for cheeseless, ground pound cheeseless.
Oh, gets it first try.
Easy. Yeah,
it's a lot harder with ground pound as well because you get less height than with a triple jump.
Yeah, triple jump gives you the most height in the game out of any of the jumps. But ground pounds is the most optimal there because it skips a lot of the setup. So it makes the jump a lot more tight, and requires a lot of practice to be able to get it consistent.
Here's the Spewart boss refight. Most of the times you refight bosses in the game, they have an additional phase, or it's harder to fast them, or something like that. But no, this boss fight's just straight identical to when you fight him in the Wooded Kingdom. There's nothing new here, just as easy. Chris giving us the memes with crouches.
Yeah. The only thing different here is that they made it a rectangular arena rather than a circular arena. Oh, it's gonna change the trajectories when he doesn't go around the arena because you just cancel the cycle early.
Yeah.
It literally changes nothing. And as we were talking about before in Snow Kingdom with story moons, so story moons in Luncheon are very, very important because they actually advance the level to spawning more moons. There is a way to skip the Spirit fight altogether and just go straight to the town and beyond. But unfortunately, there's no moons anywhere until you beat Spirit, so you have to fight them even though it's slow.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. So here's Sound defense coming up on his multi-coin cavern, getting ready for his purchase in the Snow Kingdom.
Looks like Crescendo's gonna go around the mountain. This is Crescendo's favorite moon because he discovered this and he routed it in. Back in the early days of Luncheon routing, people just completely forgot that this moon existed because the routers hadn't actually gotten 100% in the game yet. And then Crescendo was like, "Hey guys, I just found this moon. We should put it in." And they're like, "Whoa, look at that! We can put it in." Now we don't have to go to the store.
Sound defense having a little bit of problems hitting these points here to activate this moon. Gonna take some damage, but he's gonna run around them in circles and get it eventually. Heading to the middle. Nope. Oh, he's killing all these guys. I see. Here's the moon.
Yeah, taking damage to the kelp and bonking are really the only two ways you can lose time with the fish.
Oh, Chris taking some damage.
Chris, don't you die here. Okay, he grabs the checkpoint. That's going to heal him up a little bit. Hopefully he can get over to this island without the ground pounds.
He was also using some camera manipulation there to make sure that this fire bubble, this Podoboo, didn't spawn until right then, so that he's able to quick capture it and not have to wait for the next cycle.
Huh, I didn't know that was a thing.
If you angle
Whoa! Crescendo's going for magma room.
Ooh, yeah. Fast Podoboo strats there. But yeah, if you angle your camera to be pointing straight down over top of Mario, you can do that Podoboo manipulation as you come to that island. And there's the Sound defense closing out the Seaside Kingdom. Gonna be heading to Snow next. Crescendo struggling with the frying pan bro there.
The cheese. Now, we talked a lot about cheese strats in this game. That's literally a cheese strat, and no one likes it.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. The way that the frying pan bro throws frying pans is pretty much random, so if you want it to throw in a straight line and destroy the block that you're aiming for, containing the switch. You just have to spam throw and pray and just wait. It kind of sucks.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that there can't even be a position set up for it because it's too hard to position the pan bro in the first place.
Chris getting the fast first cycle on the Photoboo there, lighting the torch. And Sound Defense heading to Captain Toad, the only available moon out here in the Blizzard.
What I'm curious about is if they add Pan Bro to the next Super Mario Baseball, will he be better or worse than Boomerang Bro?
Please no. Oh, Chris gets the very, very first fast cycle there. He's not expecting to see that.
Yeah, he was mentioning before how he thinks that Forks Room is faster, but obviously he has a lot more practice in Magma Room, and it's showing off here.
And he manages to land on the platform. That was some slick movement. Sound Defense coming up on the UPS box moon. Gonna go shop in Chiveria next.
Yeah, I don't really get how boxes work in this game. Sometimes you can just kick them. Sometimes you can wall jump off them. Sometimes they get ruined, like if you throw your cap at them. They're very strange objects.
I don't know. It's kind of odd how that works sometimes. And there's the slab of meat for y'all. Enjoy.
Crescendo finishing up that very hard platforming section at the end. Very well-earned Grand Moon.
Kappa.
And he will be heading to...
Sound Defense actually doing some slightly difficult platforming there, heading up to his moon.
That was only a regular moon. I mean, which one's more impressive, a Grand Moon or just some moon in a treasure chest?
When we were talking about the platforming, I thought that the Sound Defense did a feat there that was more notable than what Chris did.
Yeah, but it's about the reward.
Ah.
History's written by the victors.
The reward-oriented perspective. Yeah, so Sound Defense heading down to the first of the 3 branching rooms. It's a little bit of a bonk, but not too big a deal for him. Down to the first room here, the Gust Room. Again, this is that purple goo that one shot kills you if you land in it, so you kind of want to give it a little go-around avoidance.
Yeah. Is another little bit of hard platforming. I mean, this wall is really thin, so doing a dive onto it is not the easiest thing in the world. And there's many different ways to get on top of it, all of which are varying degrees of difficulty and varying degrees of what's faster. But ultimately, what you're trying to do is beat the cycle of this Typhoon guy here.
Yeah, comes up on his first story moon. He's going to have 2 more rooms ahead of him.
He almost took a dive there.
Yeah. So here's Chris in the Ruined Kingdom, the one last pit stop before Bowser's Kingdom, where you have to face off against some guy that looks straight out of a Dark Souls game, the Lord of Lightning himself. Big old dragon.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. I mean, like, it's a Mario game, I think.
Yeah. It's also kind of an auto-scrolling fight. There's not a lot. You just kind of have to wait for him to be vulnerable here. He's still not vulnerable, but you can get on top, abuse some iframes so you can pull out these swords at the earliest possible time, but
yeah, that's really the only thing you can do in this boss fight to make it faster.
Yeah.
Take damage, and it does add a little bit more risk to it, but not even that much because you can just heal it off with one of 4 hearts around the arena. You essentially have 7 health here before you die, so
it's not a very high pressure situation at all. Fighting this boss, it's just a pass the time.
With that being said, you always want to make sure that you don't go to 1 health because it is very easy to take 1 damage anywhere. So, you know, you want to stay healthy so that you don't come in contact with disaster. Because dying in the 3rd phase here is a huge time loss. Here's
Sound Defense coming up on his final room in the Snow Kingdom. Gonna be looking to close it out with one last moon. As Crescendo lands the killing blow on the dragon himself.
Good fight.
Yeah.
And as Crescendo leaves Metro, or not Metro, Ruins.
he's just now leaving Metro, by the way.
Yeah. What kind of bad run is he on?
What happened, Chris?
Not even a sub 50 Metro. No, Sound Defense is going to be coming out of Snow Kingdom and going to Luncheon. So quick reminder to anybody watching, you are watching the Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent Tournament broadcasted on Speed Gaming, on Speed Gaming's multiple channels. We are commentating. I'm Tones Balones, and I'm joined by
Okra Armband. Thank you.
And we're coming up last moments of this race between Crescendo and the Sound Defense. Their group is actually one of the more it has more gaps in skill level than other groups because Crescendo is their top seed and he's one of the high seeds in the tournament altogether. So you may say Crescendo has it all in the bag, but for the second seed, you never know if he's just been putting up some practice, and we've seen Crescendo make some pretty big mistakes in this run alone. So perhaps his next run doesn't get to this point.
Mm-hmm. And Crescendo, even though he's in the lead by so much, is undeterred. makes the decision to just pull off every cheeky time-saving strat he can think of. So jumps off the railing there with a triple jump. I don't
know why he goes for that. I don't agree with that whatsoever. Especially because you don't get the checkpoint either. You get sent back so far.
It can be really punishing to miss, but Chris just I'm not gonna miss it. He's confident.
And the Sound Defense is a runner that he doesn't have a PB recorded on the leaderboard, so we didn't really know what to expect from him coming into this race. And in all honesty, he's been playing movement-wise very, very consistently. With a couple large mistakes here and there, getting kleptoed in Lost Kingdom, and a couple deaths here and there, a couple bonks in Dark Metro. He's been playing exceptionally well. So
I think it's really unfortunate that the places that he did bonk in were all places that were like off the edge of a cliff, caused a death, and had to go start over again, pretty much.
Yes, exactly. It was just very unlucky parts where he just happened to not get enough height on the jump or something. He does everything right, but it just doesn't work out the way he wants it to. So it's just something, you just got to get in the lab, you got to grind out a little bit, and come back next time, and it'll be super consistent.
Yeah, and again, this is a pretty new game. Not a lot of people have, Chris is an exception, obviously, but not a lot of people have run it super extensively. And so, every time that you play and you do a run, you're getting more practice, and you're getting better and better. And so, I definitely think from what we've seen here, the Sound Defense has a lot, more potential to play at a faster pace than he has been this race.
Right. We also don't know, Sound Defense could be a college student. It's finals week,
That it is.
We all got responsibilities, and can't, if you're one of those losers who wants to put school over speed running, I don't know.
No. Get that out of here.
Crescendo going for the over the roof movement to get this moon. This moon is I think the only moon that's not a story moon that's required to get in Bowser's Kingdom to advance. Because Bowser's Kingdom is mostly a very linear world. It's separated by huge barriers. There's no sequence breaking. You got to do everything exactly the way they want you to. Except if you do everything without getting an extra moon, you're not going to have enough moons to get to advance and power up the Odyssey. So that's the extra moon that we decided to get. There's a couple of moons that you can get. Oh, except for Glory Hole. Glory Hole's another one.
Yeah, Chris did get the Glory Hole, and he got that one on the rooftop. So those two moons, in addition to the mandatory story moons, will mean that he does have enough to move on after Bowser's Kingdom.
Yeah, there's a couple of different substitutes. There's another one, there's like a hole in the cliffside that has some really sick movement to get to, but that's a very new thing, like a route as of yesterday. So
yeah, it's very, very, very new, very fresh.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone to go for that.
Yeah, so that was the Harriet boss fight. Harriet's normally a boss you see earlier in the game, but in any percent we choose to skip her earlier on. And here's the Topper refight from Crescendo.
Yeah, this Topper refight is significantly harder than the first time.
Chris just making quick work of him, fast cycling him like no problem.
That's very nice. Getting the fast cycle here is all a matter of knowing which position he's going to be in at the exact time. Because if you jump too late, if you're in the wrong spot, any of one small thing that can go wrong, and all those hats are just going to spew out, and there's no way you can get a quick kill anymore.
Yeah, so those are the 2 boss fights that you have to do in Bowser's Kingdom to progress. And then Chris is going to be facing the long climb up the side of the wall here to get to the last boss fight in Bowser's Kingdom.
Right. This is one of the most hype parts of the run. The music gets intense. The platforming is really exciting to watch until you get to the Pokio, because then it's just boring climbing. But anyway.
Yeah, the main capture target in Bowser's Kingdom is what many runners call the bird, but the correct name is the Pokio, guys. Get it right. And what the Pokio... the bird is the word. What the Pokio does, Chris is about to capture it here, is that you can use his beak to actually poke the wall and fling yourself up like that. But if you use motion controls when you're in the wall, you actually spin up and gain a significant amount of height, just like that. You can do an additional spin, gets more height. And that's how you're going to be scaling this wall, and how Chris is going to be... Well, he's not going to be using it, actually, in the boss fight, because he's going to go for birdless. I already know Chris is going to do birdless. Why am I
yeah, there's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, no. And Sound Defense making his way through the lava room here. Both runners chose to go lava room. Neither did Forks. I'm kind of surprised. Usually you see one do one, the other do the other.
I think I've seen the majority of runners go through Forks in this tournament. But unfortunately, Sound Defense is showing why people don't like Magma Room anymore. It takes a death from the platforming. As Crescendo gets back on top of the mech for the second hit, but don't do
he
that.
saves it. He almost got flung completely off there. That was
way to keep your cool.
A little bit of anxiety there.
Yeah.
And
one of the major things about this boss fight is making sure that you get back onto the mech every single time, because if you don't, I think it loses up to 35 seconds every single time. If you miss this one here, it's 45 seconds. So it's something you definitely don't want to miss. He almost got eared there.
He just makes it just behind the ears, makes it on top, gets the quick kill.
That was very nice execution from Crescendo. That's if you want to learn how to do that boss fight, just clip it right now.
Textbook example.
Watch the whole boss fight from the start. That was fantastic. And one major thing that keeps people from falling off, especially like after they get roared off when they burst a bubble, is you have to delay the dives. That's one of the keys, is that you actually will get more distance if you go slower on the dives. And that's something that you see a lot of people maybe mess up in their brutal fights, and they say that it's inconsistent. They're having trouble with it. Is if they're going too fast on that on the dive back. And
yeah, it's actually one of the weird examples where going too fast is a bad thing.
Yeah, right.
Not too many of them in this game, but that's a prime one.
A couple more examples when that's bad.
Yeah,
like driving. You don't want to go. You don't want to speed.
You want to go fast enough. You know, you just don't want to go
fast enough to not be caught. I hope my mom's not watching.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, but here's Chris coming out of Bowser's Kingdom with a pretty darn respectable time there. Looks gonna be 1 minute or 1 minute, 1 hour 4 minute close that fade out there. He comes out of Bowser's Kingdom 1 minute after starting the run. What a god!
Wow, right? A 1:04 out time. That is very nice. Let's see if he lays it all on the line in the Moon here. You know, he might be going for the quick kill boss here. He'll be going for setup-less moon skip, 2D shortcut.
You know he's got to go for the 2D shortcut.
Got to go for 2D shortcut.
But here's sound defense coming up on the boss fight with the Lord of Lightning. And Crescendo is going to be looking to abuse moon physics here. There's a little cave off in the distance that the game normally wants you to go through.
Oh,
Can he save it? Oh, he saves it.
Oh my god. He went wait, that was intended.
The anxiety.
There's no way. There's no way he didn't play it.
Calculated, Kappa?
Calculated, man.
No, but there's a little cave over there the game wants you to go through for the story, and it takes 4 or 5 minutes if you go pretty decently fast, but there's a sphinx on the backside of it that you can abuse moon gravity with to get some nice wall kicks off of and just jump it over it and skip it entirely. That's what Chris looks to do here. Needs a little bit of setup here.
A little bit too far.
Let's get the jump there. Yep. And the second one. Oh, it doesn't get it.
Just a little bit too low. The wall.
Yeah, the game doesn't want you to normally wall jump off of 90-degree walls like that. It wants parallel walls, but because of moon gravity, you can abuse it. Gets it second try.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the how the polygons are shaped that lets you do it. You have to wall kick off a very specific part of the wall and basically trick the game into letting you do a double wall kick, because otherwise it won't let you.
So here's Crescendo coming up in the last cutscenes before the final boss fight with Bowser. It's very, very similar to the boss fight in the Cloud Kingdom. The only difference is that there is an additional phase, which is basically another auto-scroller. You just have to wait for him to be vulnerable again. So more or less the same as Cloud Kingdom. You could go for the fast strats again. Let's see if he does.
Yeah, the first hit, you can't go for any fast strats because the hat's already coming at you. Nothing really you can do about it. And here's the intermediate phase, the most worthless fire attack Bowser's ever had.
With the most consistent hitbox with the visuals ever.
Yeah, it's a floor scan. If you're like 1 pixel off the ground, it won't hit you.
Yeah.
Oh, he is going for fast strats.
He is gonna do it. Does he get it?
Oh,
no, it's too close to Bowser.
Too close, yeah.
Sound defense closing out the Ruined Kingdom himself. Gonna be looking to go into Bowser's Kingdom for the gauntlet with all the boss fights.
I wonder how much practice Sound Defense has on Mecha. I know when people first pick up the game, Mecha's one of the first things that they grind out in practice because it loses so much time if you don't execute properly.
I mean, the difference between casual strats and even like kind of flubbed speedrun strats is ginormous.
Yeah. Like casual strats versus optimal mech fight is probably 3 minutes. I'd say.
It's pretty nuts. There's Crescendo. He did get the iframe abuse there. Gets the fast third hat. Gonna be heading into the escape sequence.
Yup.
And you actually get to play as Bowser here. It's super exciting.
Last time we got to play as Bowser was Bowser's Inside Story for the DS. It's a great game.
That was a great game.
That was like the last Mario and Luigi that was good before they ruined it.
Before they ruined it. Oh man. Sad times. Sad times. All right. Let's see if Crescendo will go for the 2D shortcut. I have a feeling, man. I believe. I
think he's gonna do it.
Do you believe?
I believe.
You believe?
And
he goes for it.
He's doing it. He's
doing it, and he nails it. No problem.
Easiest skip in the game.
Dude, what are you guys fussing about? It's so easy.
He just saved 4 minutes with that skip.
4 whole minutes.
It's actually like 3 seconds.
If that, yeah.
But chat doesn't know that.
No, chat doesn't need to know. Everyone get your sour plus ready in the chat.
Or whatever dance emote you feel fit.
But you want sour plus.
Sorry, sour please is the only one. Yeah, you're right. Let's see if he goes for clockwise or counterclockwise.
See a lot of runners shoot at the right one, go off to the left. Yep, there he goes.
Yep. Doesn't look like he's gonna go for all 5 fireballs. I'm not sure like what exactly the optimal strat is. I don't know if waiting to get that pillar destroyed is good enough.
I think the optimal strat is to have perfect aim and never miss, Kappa.
Dang, well, count me out.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, looks like Chris is gonna be coming up on a low 110 here.
Low 110 for dying in Cloud Kingdom.
Twice.
Twice, yeah. Absolutely insane runs.
I'm sure he's gonna come in here and be like, "Oh no, I sucks, man."
Yeah, right.
And there it is.
110.08.
Yep.
You know, one of the better times I've seen in the tournament.
The official SRL time is a 110.13. So, congrats, Crescendo. You won the race. GG.
We're gonna switch the audio over to the sound defense as he goes over through Bowser's Kingdom. We'll see if Crescendo is going to jump in. He probably will eventually.
Yeah.
Either way, we got a hot minute.
Yeah. Give him a little ping in the shot here. Yeah, sound defense coming up on his 2 brutal boss fights here.
Ooh, it's a very fast hit on Harriet.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by that. A lot of people choose to, you know, play it safe, kind of back up a lot, and go in while the bomb's on the floor. But he's
Oh, just missed.
Yeah,
Off to the side.
That's the complications of going for this fast strat, is that it's way less precise. So being a little bit too far left or right can be the difference between getting a fast kill or missing 3 times and having her go to the large spike ball attack. Alright, got 2 out of 3 times though. Pretty sweet. Keep in mind, sound defense does not have... Oh, is this Crescendo?
Well, hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
You guys hear me?
You're a little quiet.
A little quiet still?
A little quiet.
How about?
Still a little quiet.
I can't turn it up anymore, man.
What are you doing, Chris?
So,
So how you feeling?
I mean, like, you know, speedrunners love to beat themselves. Speedrunners are their own worst critic, you know?
Well, I mean, speedrunning is about comparing against yourself,
Yeah.
so it only makes sense.
Other people compare against other people too. Yeah, the biggest enemy is yourself. Dying twice in Cloud Kingdom
Okay, if we ignore Cloud Kingdom,
is really dumb. If we ignore Cloud Kingdom and then like my climb in the City Hall and Metro,
Yeah, the drop was a little unfortunate.
it was a really good run otherwise. Like, I'm pretty sure I golded maybe Seaside Luncheon and Bowser Kingdom.
your Bowser Kingdom was really solid.
Yeah, the Bowser Kingdom was pretty good. Other than like Cloud Kingdom and like that like little mistake in Metro, I was pretty happy with it.
Man, you sound so calm. We were kind of freaking out a little bit. Some of your movement, you know, we saw you in the ice room with the Goombas and Snow Kingdom pull off that quick roll. That was nuts.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really glad you can be kind of humble and know that you have room to improve, because, you know, of course there's always room to improve, but, you know, I think you should be proud of what you accomplished today, because you came in here and, you know, really showed off what you know, strutted your stuff, showed what you can do, and we were all really impressed.
Yeah, ended up a really solid time.
Yeah, I think less than a week ago, my PB was a 109.56, and I was only 12 seconds above that just now. So I mean, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You stay consistent. That's what wins tournaments. Consistency wins tournaments.
Yeah. How's the sound defense doing?
Sound defense is doing very solid. You know, he knows his stuff. He knows all the movement. He knows his routing. He did pretty much every route similar to yours. I don't think he differed at all. Except for, you know, different ways to get to the same moons. So he's definitely practiced. He knows his stuff. This is not the newest runner I've seen in the tournament.
Oh yeah, not at all.
But, you know, just those couple things where he would bonk in a couple places, but it wasn't just bonking. It always was bonks that was in a spot that loses the most time.
Here's like a bonk over an endless chasm, fall to your death. It's like, oh no, that's the worst spot to bonk. You know, it's
Right.
things like that.
Bonks on the dark metro big wall.
So I realize why I was so quiet. Am I better now?
Oh yeah,
Yes, you're way
much.
better.
Sorry.
Okay.
Too many knobs.
Totally understandable. But yeah, no, I mean, the sound defense strikes me as a runner that, you know, we talk a lot about consistency here, and I feel like this is, you know, if everyone is a standard deviation away from their norm here, we're seeing the lower end of a standard deviation here. I think he has a lot of higher potential than what we're seeing today. His movement is not bad. I mean, we didn't know what to expect with him coming in with no PB, but yeah, I think he's got a lot of room to improve, and he will pull it out. I'm pretty convinced.
Oh no.
But yeah, thanks for stopping in, Chris. Really appreciate it. You solid run today, man. GG.
Yeah, no problem. I think I'm just gonna try and bang out the rest of my runs this week. So be on the lookout for that, everybody.
Any other ones scheduled already?
Not yet, but I think me and Maj and Phil are thinking about this Wednesday around the same time. So
Right. You scared of that race a little bit?
Nah.
Huh?
Nah,
You
got nothing
scared?
to worry about.
nah, I'm like usually pretty confident in like my abilities. So
I would hope so.
I mean, you're one of the.
You get top seed in the tournament. You have this kind of responsibility around you. You know. You can't
and then
just-
it's just that much worse if you lose.
yeah.
But I mean, Phil has like a good track record. So I mean, you never know. He could come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely could. What if he's just been like, you know, grinding in the lab for forever?
man.
You don't know.
Maybe, dude. Maybe.
all right. Well, looking forward to it, man.
All right, I'll let you guys finish up the commentary for the rest of the sound defenses run.
Thanks again, man.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, sure. Take care.
Later.
Bye. All right,
so
we're back on sound defense. He took a little bit of a tumble in this part of the boss fight last time, but he seems to know his stuff. He knows his backups. He gets that hit. This one's gonna be a little rough. That camera's not his friend right now, but he should be able to make this back. He should be able to get there. Perfect.
And there's the kill.
Good execution on that boss fight. That's what you look for. He went for birdless too.
Yeah, he did, and he
I
got
was
it.
not expecting
He got
that.
it, yeah.
He got that fine. Very nice. So
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like come back in a week. Sound defense is gonna pull off, you know, like a 118 or something. Like finish
like
time,
if
no problem.
he had not been doing runs, and you know, he just has been practicing his stuff, and it's just a matter of doing more runs. You know, doing runs is so different from practice. You can't blame anyone if they haven't done full runs and are slipping up here and there, because when you just combine it all together, it's just a completely different feeling.
It really is. And you know, it's like you said, you know, one of the first things that a runner might try to improve on, because it's just, you know, it needs the most attention, is that Mecha Brutal fight. And so the fact that the sound defense was able to, hey, I know these strats, I can do it, I can execute it on boom, 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 like, you know, clearly is practiced on that. You know, that is one of the, you know, you just need to devote so much time to getting that Mecha Brutal fight down consistently. It's unforgiving.
Yeah, we still could see a PB here. I don't know how fast
Yeah.
he can do this moon, but it's within the realm of possibility for sure.
Yeah, I think one of the first things you practice is Mecha Brutal, and the second things you practice is Moon Skip.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So hopefully you'll be able to get it, within the first 3-5 tries and nail the rest of that. Because, again, the boss fight with Bowser is pretty much the same as Cloud Kingdom, and then escape sequence is an escape sequence.
Right. I'm getting word that he's apparently minus 5.5 on the split.
Ooh, yeah,
Whoa.
he's definitely on a PB pace here. Here we go. On the moon.
You guys may not know why we went to the moon at all in this game. If this is your first time watching the game,
Suddenly we're on the moon.
Especially since we skipped all the lore and they're playing in Japanese, so you're probably
super out of the loop here.
Super out of the loop. Basically, Bowser kidnaps Peach and wants to marry her and forces her into marriage, and the only way to do that apparently is to go to the moon in the Mario universe.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because that's the only church in the universe.
It's the only sensible option.
Yes. So you go to the moon, you follow them all the way there, and it just so happens that every time you get to a new location, they leave. What a coincidence, right?
Yeah. How very convenient for them.
But luckily for the moon, as we know, the moon is 1/6 the mass of the Earth and thus has less gravity. And we can use that gravity to abuse the physics and just skip everything that they want us to do.
Oh, it looked like he got that the first try.
Yeah,
very
that
close.
Looked really close, but just didn't have enough height.
Mm-hmm.
That should have enough height. No, a little bit far right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He threw his hat before he started slowly descending from the initial ground pound jump.
Right.
And you do need to wait just like that little half second to get the optimal amount of height.
Yeah, that what you just said was the difference of how he just missed that one.
These walls are not being as generous as they can be here.
Yeah. He's also sliding down the first wall a little bit more than he should. I've heard that it is good to slide down the wall a little bit. You don't want to necessarily spam the A button.
Yeah.
Because you get a more solid jump. But
again, runners like Crescendo can make this look super, super easy, but,
but
this is one of the weirdest feeling things to try to get right because of the moon gravity. I mean, I say we abuse it. I just abuse it, get up the wall, but it feels so wrong after spending, however long jumping with Mario normally to get on the moon gravity and try to jump there. It just feels just bizarre. But Sound Demon is able to get it eventually. There it is.
He almost just went back into the moon cave.
Yeah. It's not what you want.
I saw someone do that once.
Oh no!
It was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Does it trigger the boss fight there?
I don't. No, it doesn't. You can just exit
Okay.
immediately. You have to
Okay.
travel a little bit farther.
Yeah, just the load screens then in between zones.
Alright, he's gonna be heading into the boss fight. Same old from what we just saw from Crescendo, except probably without fast cap.
Soft lock strat.
Soft lock strat, yeah.
Yeah, again, I don't know if anyone has seen Iwabi's stream. I think he's like, number 4 on the leaderboards right now? Yeah, it's number 4 on the leaderboards. Super, super, super good player. Really, really fast. He spent, I think, an entire day, 2 days, just doing the Cloud Bowser fight over and over again, trying to do the fastest, most optimal strats, and he kept soft locking on it, floating in midair, unable to do anything, waiting for Bowser to hit him so he can come out of the soft lock. It just looks so bizarre. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but go look it up. I know he's posted on his Twitter, and it is the most bizarre thing to see.
But Okra, technically it's not a soft lock, because if you get hit, then you're rescued.
Okay, fine. Whatever. You can't do anything until he hits you, though. And so you have to wait for him, not only because he doesn't hit you, he jumps to the other side of the arena and then throws these rocks at you. He has to roll all the way to you and then hit you. And then you have to run all the way back across the arena. And it's a huge, huge time loss to get that lock there.
It is worth noting with that fire attack, though, you can lose time on that, even though it's an auto-scroller. If you go outside of Bowser's effective arc of fire, then he turns around, and then he resets the cycle. So, well, he doesn't necessarily reset it, but he takes a while to get it started again. So you want to make sure you stay within the arc of in the area of effect for you mobile players. Otherwise, you'll lose a second or two.
Thomas, why don't you just call it what it is? It's an AoE, God.
It's an AoE. My gosh.
And here's the final escape sequence from the sound defense. So it looks like we're not going to be, unfortunately, not going to be getting a PB for the sound defense in this run today, but he won't be too terribly far off.
Goes for the triple jump. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Saves 3 minutes.
3 whole minute arenas.
Did you know that in 2-player mode, the 2-player can actually do stuff in the 2D section? Have you seen what they do? Yeah,
No.
it's super weird. Like it gives you a little bit of extra height in your jump, and you can levitate.
What?
Yeah, if the
That is so bizarre.
Yeah, if the 2-player holds the jump button, you levitate.
I've never heard of that. That's bizarre.
It's really weird.
Why don't just make 2D shortcut a joke?
Yeah, it would. When's 2-player strat's gonna be legal in speedruns?
Never, please.
1 player, 2 controllers. The dream.
1 player, 2. Oh my goodness. Have you ever tried playing this game on the sideways 1 Joy-Con?
Yeah, you don't want to do it.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It looks like sound defense is going to be probably within a minute of his PB here.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's so close to it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got the sour pleases going in chat.
Oh yeah, you got to
Thank you,
get
chat.
the rebound of the sour please.
Thank you, chat. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. So yeah, he's playing within a minute of his PB.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, that's as much as you can ask for in a tournament setting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. GG to all.
All right, great performance from both of these players. Honestly, like, I love watching. I love watching newer runners. Sometimes more than I like watching the better runners, because it gives you insight. Especially if any of you are watching here, you're like, hey, maybe I want to run the game. You get a little insight of what it's like to like be at a point and then be able to improve on it. You know. If you were to only watch Crescendo stream there, you'd be like, oh man, what he's doing is so hard. I don't want to do that. But if you're watching sound defense and you see, oh, that was only 17 minutes slower, I can do that easy. And then you can start from there. You know, you get to know the process. And that's what I think is really important. I think that what this tournament is doing more than anything is giving the game some exposure as, you know, the most accessible speedrun ever. And
oh yeah, for sure. Hugely accessible.
Yeah, and if any of you want to run it, literally all you have to do is do a run.
Yeah, and just as you do more and more runs, you will get better. That's how this game works. It's very, you know, the more you play, the better you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll just do it from us here at Speed Gaming. Again,
you will get better. We're gonna pull sound defense in here.
Oh, here he is. He's actually here. Hello.
Hey guys. But yeah, that'll just do it from us here at Speed Gaming.
Oh no, I hear myself.
Oh, wait. Yeah, mute your.
Oh, here he is. He's actually here. Hi guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
I am doing fine. Sorry about that. I had my stream sound still on.
Oh no, it's all right.
I love when that happened. Like back when I was a kid, and you would call into the radio stations. Remember, like they would say, "Hey, turn your radio down," because then you get the feedback.
Yeah,
that's exactly what just happened here. And what a nostalgic moment. But anyway, sound defense, great performance from you. What were you expecting going into this run, and how do you think you lived up to those expectations?
Oh goodness. I was like hoping that I could get a bit closer to my PB. Like I had told myself, you know, naively that I had worked out all of the major kinks in the run and that I wasn't going to have any, you know, major deaths. And you can all see how well that worked out. But
I don't know. Go ahead, Okra.
I'm feeling, you know, mixed feelings about it. Like because I've got those, you know, two or three or maybe four really rough sections in the run, but like everything else, looking at my live split is a gold split, and that's like satisfying and also a bit frustrating that like I'm saving so much time in other places and it's just a few screw ups that are slowing you down. But I don't know, it's also like, you know, if I get rid of those, then, you know, my time is suddenly going to start jumping down. So
oh yeah,
I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's one thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just, we were just talking about, you know, just about this earlier, is that, you know, your knowledge and your is all generally pretty darn good. You know, we've been watching, you know, we watched you play for, you know, almost an hour and a half now, and I'm very impressed. It's just that, you know, you know, it's really hard to be super consistent on this game. You're like, we're gonna bonk, all of us bonk, Chris bonked some, but it was super unfortunate. Like the places that you bonked were ones that like caused a death or caused you to fall down, and it was like, you know, oh, that's like the most unfortunate thing that could have happened, and you know, it's just one of those things. You know, if you can avoid that honestly worst case scenario, the disaster scenario happening, you know, you're gonna see your times drastically improve. And
it just so happened to happen, like you bonked in all of those unfortunate scenarios. You know, bonks are just like, oh, I bonked on a pole, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
but
those are gonna happen.
It just so happens like, oh, I bonked on right after girder sandwich, or bonking on trying to get the big wall. And it's those things where just like, you know, all you have to do is grind it out and make sure you get it next time, and then you're easily saving 4 minutes next run.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping I can get sub 120 by the end of the month. Is my
by the end of the week.
You're gonna get it by the end of the week. I can feel. I based on what I've seen, I know you're gonna get it by the end of the week. It's not even a question for me.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Like a lot of it was like definitely nerves. Like there were some periods where I literally just forgot what to do next. Like if I ever paused, I forgot what to do next.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and considering of course you're newer to the run, like what was your story? What got you into running this game?
Well, I mean, I've been anticipating it for forever, as long as anyone else, and as soon as I basically the first time I did cap dive and got up someplace I wasn't supposed to be, I'm like, wow, this is going to be like like my favorite game. So it's just like when I found out how fun the mechanics were, it's just I just had to try it out as soon as I completed it 100%.
Right. We all had those moments, you know, we all played it casually first before we started speedrunning, and this game lends so well to the creative spirit where you can, if you understand little things about the game here and there, then you can do whatever you want. And that is what speedrunning is all about. So if you're one of the people that is creative in games and just want to do what you want and do it fast and optimally, this game is perfect.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. It's so much fun. Like even if I'm falling off a bridge, I'm still having so much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you know you will never again play another game.
You're stuck here forever.
Yeah, honestly, good showing today, man. I was impressed.
Hey, thank you very much.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch more of your runs in the rest of the tournament. Do you have your next match planned?
No, I don't. I'm hoping to get them done next weekend because like I disappear for the last 2 weeks of the year where I'm not able to stream. So
right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Finals for you?
No, I'm out of school. It's just taking up what vacation time I can, and it just worked out that way that I get a nice long vacation.
It's a good time to take a vacation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but I don't think I have anything else. Do you, Tones?
No. Any place you wanna anything you wanna shout out? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at my Twitch channel. You can follow me on my Twitter, but I don't recommend it. I'm gonna try and stream more now that I've officially streamed this game before because it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm gonna try and do this. I might try and do a quadrilateral cowboy in the next few weeks or so. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, and thanks for everyone who was watching. I actually had a couple of members of my family watching because they're really interested in speedrunning.
Oh, that's awesome.
So thanks for
really
tuning
cool.
in, Dad and Claire.
That's awesome. Family support is something that's actually pretty rare in the speedrunning community.
Hey, shoutouts to the Sound Defenses family.
Yeah,
y'all are
shout out
awesome.
Shout out to Defense family. So yeah, with that, I think we are all set to wrap it up. Do we know where we're heading with this?
Yeah, so a Link to the Past randomizer daily race is coming up, I believe, on this channel. You can head over as well. If you want to see more Mario Odyssey, you can head over to the twitch.tv/speedgaming3 channel. There's currently an ongoing race between Bayleaf and Vivid.
And I believe that just started 30 minutes ago.
Yep, so that's looking pretty exciting if y'all want to head over there. And there will be much more Mario Odyssey to come in the month of December, as we said, for all the group stages. So, swing on by to any of the 4 Speed Gaming channels on pretty much any day, and you'll find some Mario Odyssey.
Right, and reminder to anybody watching, if you happen to miss any races that you want to see, the races will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. So don't fret, there's always the VODs to pick it up later.
I think that about does it. Unless I'm forgetting something, I think I'm not.
Well, I think that's good. We'll sign off here. Thank you so much for joining us, the Sound Defense.
Hey, thank you.
And we'll see you later.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody.
Take care.